I'm going to show you how to work with typography in Illustrator. So I have placed my source file in here. I've embedded it, I've locked it as you can see, and then I've created a layer that's called bounding box. So if I uncheck my source file, you can start to see my pages starting to evolve. Again, I haven't numbered them. That might be something you want to do in the beginning, or maybe you do that in the end so you can make sure they're nice and centered. I've started adding text, and I'm going to go ahead and just lock my bounding box layer and make a new layer that's called text. So the way you work with text is you get the type tool over here on your toolbar, and you would go and click on your document. So right here, I'm going to say by : I'm going to do command click just like I do with the pen tool so it doesn't follow me. And then I'm going to click again down here. Brandon, command click, and then I'm going to type his last name. Now, notice it automatically defaults to Myriad Pro. You are not allowed to use this font because it's the default font in Illustrator, and you should all be experimental in your font. So I'm going to show you a few things that you can do. If you go to View, or Window, sorry, and go to Type, and you want to have character illuminated, when you hit the flyout menu, there are all kinds of typography, and it shows you what it looks like. So let's say that I want to change all of this font. I'm going to make it a little bigger by holding Shift and move it into place here. And the one nice thing about working with each, like hitting command click after I use the type tool, is I can move them individually. They're not all connected. Here I see a mistake, so I just get my type icon again. I click here, backspace, and do a lowercase o. Okay, so with my type selected with the black arrow, I'm going to go ahead and choose PT Sans, and I'm going to do it bold. Okay, so there you can see it changed the font. This one I'm going to do, whoops, wrong window, Sathu, and I'll do this one Sathu as well. Oh, I keep going to the wrong one. You can change the size. You can change the size up here. You could change the size in this window. You could do what's called kerning, so that's space in between letters. So if I get my type tool and I go in between the B and the Y, I can hover over here and it says set the kerning between two characters. So as I push this number up, you will see that things are starting to move apart from each other. Okay, so there's kerning. You can also add, you can change colors. So if you have it selected, so I want to have my fill off, you can go in here and change the colors. Okay. One really important thing when you are completely done with your typography is you need to make it into an outline. So I'm going to make this large, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this and delete this one so you can see. So I go up to type and I go to create outlines. Now my typography is vector. You could go in here and edit like specific points. I could move this Y all the way up here if I wanted part of the Y. Or you can go in and add really cool brush strokes. So here you can see I added a brush stroke to the text and it gives it this gritty texture. You can do it to singular. So maybe I'll go into artistic, charcoal, go to the bottom, and I'll add it there. And then you can even give it a fill. Whoops, you have to have it selected first. So here, if you zoom in, you can see it has a green stroke with a gritty texture and a blue fill. And if I lower the opacity of that fill, you can see it better. Okay, so I'm going to put it back to 100%. So those are a couple ways to do typography. The next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create your typography into shapes.